everybody, it's Robin here. A pleasure at least to connect with you this way because I know we can't be together in person during this worldwide pandemic. The next best thing is for us to connect this way via technology, and thank God for that. So I've created for you a grounding class. Grounding in the face of what feels sometimes out of control, feels chaotic, and it's hard to find our feet on the ground sometimes, and especially in extraordinary times like this. This practice, of course, you can come to at any time. It doesn't have to be during a worldwide pandemic. It could be any time where you're feeling that internal just kind of disarray and chaos, and you need to find your feet. You need to find the ground and know that everything will be okay. And I know that for me, dealing with all of this uncertainty and things changing every day, it's hard for me just to stay grounded, let alone support other people in my life in whatever they may be experiencing too. So it's my hope that this practice gives you that sense of peace that you can share with those around you during this challenging and very interesting time. If you'd like to use music for this class, I'm not going to include it on the video, so feel free to put on some soft music that you find is soothing for you or uplifting for you. I have 2 blocks and a strap. If you don't have blocks at home, you could use a thick book. And a strap. If you don't have a strap, you can use like a long, soft, maybe fabric belt of some sort. And if you don't have either of those, don't worry about it. You can still do the practice fully, completely. Okay, so we're going to start in a comfortable seat, whatever that feels like for you. So you can sit the way that I am, cross-legged, or you can sit on your heels. And just relax the hands in the lap to begin. And just start by noticing what is going on for you internally, where you might feel some tightness, where you feel like you're tensing up, holding on. And see if you can direct some love and some breath to those areas. So we'll start by just listening to our own breath, sensing the feeling of the breath in and out of the body. You can use the mouth, the nose, whatever feels comfortable. I just want you to take the next moment or two to check in with your physical sensations, your breath. Where's your heart at? Where's your mind at? Fully accepting that whatever you feel in these circumstances is perfectly fine, perfectly normal. And we will simply make an intention to use the practice to bring us to a higher state of being, a better state of being that feels good. So I'll count you out on a 4 count inhale and exhale. And then I'm going to change the count a little bit just to deepen the breath and the calming effect of the breath. So inhaling here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhaling 4, 3, 2, and 1. One more time, just like that. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, and 1. This time we're going to inhale for 4. We're going to hold the breath for 6. Exhale for 8. So our exhale is double the length of our inhale. And then at the bottom of our exhale, we're going to have a brief hold just for 2. And then we'll repeat that a few more times. So I'm going to count you through it, okay? And take your time. It'll become easier and easier with each round that we do. Okay? So, inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath at the top here. Relax for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. slow exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. Good. And inhaling again for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Filling up. Hold at the top here. 2, 3. Relax the shoulders. Relax the belly. Relax the face. And exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5. All the way out. 3, 2, 1. Holding for 1 and 2. Again. Big inhale. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hold it. Drop the chin a little bit as you hold the breath inside. Feel the stillness of the entire being. Exhaling slowly. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom. Brief hold. And let's do it one more time. Inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it here. And while you hold, see if you can find a peacefulness in the hold. Like you're floating a little bit in outer space. So try not to create tension in the body. And then a nice slow exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All the way out. Beautiful. Few breaths in and out. Exhale. So whenever we're feeling particularly heightened or anxious, focusing on our exhale will really calm our nervous system almost immediately. So try to focus on the exhale, which isn't always the intuitive approach. We usually think we're gasping for some air to try to take a deep inhale. See if you can focus on the exhale and see how that might ground you a little bit. Beautiful. Inhale the arms up, palms touch. Extending through the sides of the ribs, lifting up tall. And then exhale, bring the palms forward, curl out the back, drop the chin, rounding out. Good, and then as we inhale, we're going to open the wings wide. Inhale, slide the shoulder blades back behind you. Good, and then exhale, hands back at your heart center, thumbs pressed in. Big inhale, shoot the arms up like a rocket ship. Lift the torso out of the hips. And then exhale, sit back, round out, draw the belly in towards the spine. Inhale, open the wings, slide the shoulders, lift the heart. And exhale, hands back to prayer. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Exhale, hands back into prayer. Beautiful. And again, inhale, lift. Exhale, round, drop the chin, round out. Good. Now press the heart forward as the wings go back. Inhaling. And exhale, hands back to your center. Pausing here. Take a moment here to set your own intention. Or perhaps there's a prayer you'd like to send out for a particular person that needs healing, particular group of people, or perhaps the whole planet. Make it yours. Good. And gently opening the eyes. From here, place the right hand down and lift the arm up overhead for a nice side stretch. You can bend that right elbow. And keep pressing the left hip bone down, lifting the arm and shoulder up and out of the hips. Good. And then from here, we're going to inhale and slide the elbow towards the left hip. And maybe the heart gazes up a little bit here. And then exhale, arm will straighten, gaze down at the mat. Warming up the neck, loosening up the neck. Good, look up, bend the elbow, slide it back behind the ribs. And again, exhale, look down at the mat. Inhale, hard up, elbow back. And exhale, reach. Good. Press into the mat to come all the way up. And exhale over to the other side. Left arm will come down. And let's stay here a couple of breaths in this side stretch, bending the elbow. Press the left hip down to the ground. And with that length, slide the elbow back, gazing up at the ceiling. And then gazing down at the mat, lengthen the arm. Good. Breathe into the whole left side of the lungs. Filling up, and exhale. Deflate. Look down. 2 more times. Inhaling. And exhale. And 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale, big reach. Press that hip bone down and away from the fingertips. And then press into the mat to come on up. Palms touch. Look at the thumbs and pull it into the heart. And press those thumbs to your heart center. Always a chance to connect to self and check in. Inhale. And exhale. Wonderful. From here, we're going to come onto our belly, onto Sphinx pose. So bending at the elbows, coming onto the forearms. Lengthen out the legs. And just stacking elbows under the shoulders. Fingertips are nice and wide. Press the front of the pelvis down, front of the thighs down. My toes are pointed. I don't know if you can see them there in the video. The camera's covering my whole mat. But here we're nice and long, and we're going to lift the heart up and away from the mat, up and away from the feet. But we're going to keep engaging front of the pelvis down so that it's supporting the low back and there's no crunching or compression in that low back. Okay? Now from this Sphinx, we're going to keep the arms as they are, but we're going to walk the knees in. So knees are stacked under the hips. And then you're going to extend the right leg back and press the heel away from the front of your mat. So you're stretching out the back of the leg and the calf muscle. I'd like you to lower the head and rest the forehead on the mat. If that feels like the floor is too far away or it's too much of a reach for your neck, you can take your block or your book and rest the forehead on the block. And staying here, keep pressing the heel back. Finding support through the arms, so pressing the hands down, pressing the forearms down into your mat. It's really nice to use props sometimes just to feel that something is supporting us. It's there to make us feel more comfortable, more secure, and more supported. Good. And then from here, we're actually going to take the back toes and now we're going to point them. So resting on the front or the top of my foot, I'm going to press into my hands and lift my left knee off the ground. So I'm engaging my belly, I'm rounding the back. The forehead can stay down. So there's a lot of core strength happening here. And then slowly lower the knee and replace the right knee back down. Go ahead, sit onto your heels for a moment. And let's just roll out the wrists and the forearms. And then roll them out the other way. All right. Let's come back into our Sphinx table, right? So knees are bent, stacked under the hips. Left foot reaches back, press the left heel away in that nice calf stretch, and then release the forehead down to the block or the mat. Breathing here. At the end of your last exhale, you're going to point the left toes, come onto the front of the left foot.
Engage the lower arms, hands, and then curl the belly up and in. Use your belly to lift that right knee off the floor and let it hover just 1 or 2 inches off the floor. Round out the back, relax the head. Feel your core strength. And slowly lower the right knee down and then the left. Good, and let's just sit back in a brief child's pose. You can take the block with you if you're using one. And release the arms by your side, palms facing up. And just allow the shoulders to roll down towards the mat, rounding out the upper back. And taking a couple of breaths just like that. Good. Coming back into your Sphinx pose with legs elongated. We're going to lift both legs off the floor now. Okay, so you're on the tops of the feet. You're going to press into the forearms, the hands, especially the base of the thumbs and the index finger. And then you're going to draw the belly up and in. Lift both legs, hips, belly, everything's off the floor except for the lower arms and the top of the feet. Good. Holding here for 3. Breathing 2. And 1. Good. And slowly lower down, all the way down onto your belly. All the way down. You can rest your head on your hands. We're going to take the right leg up. So it's a bit of a froggy stance here. So take the right leg up, bending the knee so it's about lined up with the right hip. The left leg stays nice and long. So first you can just think about relaxing the front of the right hip and allowing it to just drop towards the mat. The left frontal hip is still full contact with the mat, pressing down just gently, or at least allowing it to weight itself down. And then from here, you're going to bend the left leg, reach the right arm back, and grab hold of the foot. So you can hold from the inside or the outside, whatever you prefer. And let's line up our spine a little bit more here. So bringing the forehead down onto the hand, and just gently drawing the heel in towards the hip. And just with a micro movement, start to press that left frontal hip bone into the mat. Good, and then release the foot. Lengthen out both legs. Lengthen out both arms out in front of you. And then we're going to slowly lift the left leg and the right arm. On a count of 4, we're going to lift, and on a count of 4, we're going to lower. So it's going to be an inhale, lift left leg, right arm, right opposite leg to opposite arm. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we'll repeat that. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Slow, fluid movement. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, press the pelvis down. Lift up. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Lengthening out and lower. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Let's make a pillow for the head once again. You can turn your face to the other side now, to the left, and bend the left leg, coming into that froggy stance. And just settling here, noticing what's going on with that left hip, and see if you can make it heavy as it relaxes down into the mat. Good, and then when you're
you're ready, bending the right knee and reaching back with your left arm and grabbing hold of the foot, either the inside or the outside. Bring the forehead straight down onto your hand so the back of the neck is long and straight. The foot presses gently into the hand and the hand back into the foot, elongating the quadricep, the very large thigh muscle, the front of your thighs. That can get oh so very tight, releasing the fronts of the hips. And then slowly release the foot and let that foot fall all the way back down to the mat. Lengthen out both legs and both arms. So this time you're going to lift the right leg and the left arm together. Opposite leg, opposite arm. Slowly inhaling the right leg up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhaling back down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Keeping the neck long. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, and 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And now release the hands under the forehead and have a little rest here. And just sway the hips side to side, rolling them out on top of the mat. Feeling the belly on the mat, giving yourself a little belly massage here. Maybe helping you to digest. And for this last little back bend, we're going to bring the arms to the low back, interlace the fingers. Forehead is down. Lift the shoulders up and away from the floor. Press that front of the pelvis down once again. And then we're going to inhale for 4, exhale for 4. We're going to lift both legs, head, neck, shoulders, and chest. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep it nice and long. So you're almost like you're stretching your body the whole length of the mat as you come up and down. Keep that length. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the hands under the forehead and roll out the hips. Good. From here, just press yourself on up to hands and knees. Now we're going to take some nice juicy torso circles here. So you can start in any direction you'd like, using the arms to bring you up, bending the elbows to bring you down, and exploring the sides of your body by pressing the ribs out to either side, reaching the top corners, the lower corners of your circle. Circle doesn't have any corners. Making those circles as wide and as big as you can. Let's reverse directions, go the other way. Beautiful. We're going to swing your right leg out off the mat. So you're coming into gate pose, extending the left leg long so you can mirror me, okay? Left hand's just going to rest without pressing on that leg. So you're going to rest along the side of the leg as you lengthen out your right side body. So reaching up, lifting torso out of the ribs, okay? And then from here, staying long in that left side too, but just arcing just a tad in order to accentuate that C curve, that lengthening of the right side body. Good.
like, for that kind of hopeful opening sensation, you can look up towards the sky, lift the heart up towards the sky, or if that feels like too much, you can gaze down at the floor. Good. And then bring that top arm to your hip. We're going to bring the heel in and bend the left knee. Now, it's a bit of a variation of Anjaneyasana, like it's a bit of a side lunge here. So we're going to lunge into the hip, and the knee can come past the heel. That's safe here because we have our opposite knees is grounding down. It's like a combination, I think, between an Anjaney and a side angle, yeah? So left arm is supported on the knee, but it's not just hanging out. Draw the shoulder in, so there's lots of space between the ear and the shoulder. The palm is facing up. The arm is super active, helping us to lift out of the hips and not to compress. And then reach that right arm up and over, shooting past the ear. Some of you may want to reach for the ground to the outside of the left leg. If you're using a block, you can also use a block here. Just bring it to the outside, just lined up with your foot. And then from here, pressing into the floor and finding the floor with your right hand should land just under your shoulder. Okay, and now lengthen out that left leg once again so the pinky edge of your foot is lined up with the mat. And now let's reach that opposite arm. Left arm comes across. Breathing. And from here you have a couple of options. One is just to lift the left leg off the ground, flex the foot so it's super strong, making one long line from your fingertips all the way down to the foot. The other option is to bind. So bend the knee, and as you do, draw it into your chest, grab hold of the foot, and then you can press it back, open the heart, open the front of the hip. Some of you may even want to back bend a little bit. All the while, wherever you are in any of those variations, keep breathing. Good. And then we'll all lengthen out, find the floor, and step into a downward dog. Can you believe we're only getting to our first downward dog now? Walk it out. Good, and come on to hands and knees. We'll do the opposite side. So you're gonna swing the left knee back. Right leg is gonna extend nice and long for gate pose. Okay, the foot is planted. Inhale, left arm comes up and over. And try not to lock that long leg. Keep it relatively soft. And just checking in here. Maybe feeling into the low back of the left side. Deep breaths. Good. Come on up, hand to hip. Drag that heel in. Bend the knee. Toes are pointing off to the front of the mat. And then lunge here, side lunge. Right arm comes down, palm up, and reach the left arm up overhead. Okay? And then you know those options. So either reaching for the floor or using a block. Draw the belly in, only to engage and lengthen, so we're not dumping into the pose. And those vocal exhales are always soothing. They're just a great release. So you can just take them for the whole hour of the class. Every time you exhale, you could let out a big sigh. You're on your own. You're in your house. You can do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want in our studio too, but you might be more inclined to be vocal on your own, which is always nice. Good, and let's come on up. You can move the block aside if you're using one. Lengthen out that leg again. Good. And let's place the left arm down. Reach the right arm straight overhead, shooting past the ear. Good, and then here, option to lift and just hold here. Okay, using the belly. The foot is super flexed. If you prefer, you can bend the knee, grab the front of the foot, and then slide that foot back into your hand. And some of you may want to back bend a little bit here. Beautiful. And we'll all lengthen out together. Good. And then come to sit, knees together, and let's just have a seat here. Inhale the arms straight overhead. Exhale the hands to your heart. Coming into a downward facing dog on your mat. We're going to take a nice slow vinyasa flow, staying close to the ground. That's the theme today. Everything is nice and close to the ground. So we're going to come forward into our plank pose as we inhale. Good. Exhale, drop the knees, bring the elbows in nice and close, drop the chest. Good. Inhale. We've warmed up our backs quite a bit here. Let's go for a nice cobra. Inhaling. And exhale, come back down, nice and slow. Push into the hands and slide the hips back into child's pose, briefly. And then inhale, back onto hands and knees. Inhale, lift the heart for cow. And then exhale, cat, press into the mat, drop the head and round out. And then from here, tuck the toes and come back into neutral spine as you lift into your downward facing dog. Okay, we'll do that a couple more times. Inhale, come forward to plank. If you'd like, you can come all the way down and hit the deck, or you can take knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, lower. Good, tuck the toes, come through child's pose. Up into tabletop. If you want to slide the hands back under your shoulders, inhale. Good, exhale. Good, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, back into your child's. Inhale. Exhale, round. Good. Inhale, downward facing dog. Okay, let's do that just one more time. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhaling cobra. Exhale, back to child's. Inhaling, cow. Exhaling, cat. Tuck the toes, come back to your downward facing dog. Stay here for 3 breaths. Excuse me.
From here, you're going to bend the knees fairly wide. The feet will come together and you'll sit back in a child's pose. But we're going to float through this child's pose a little bit. So we're going to walk the hands over to the right. You can stack the left hand on top of the right and fold back into child's. And then you're going to press into the floor with your legs and arms. Inhale as you open and exhale with wide arms in a V shape. Exhale, fold back in. Inhale, inflate like a balloon. Exhale, over to the left side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. So let the spine roll you through this kind of floating child. Inhale. Exhale wide. Inhale over to the left. Inhale, center. And we're going to stay here in the center. And you can adjust the arms and bring them by your sides if you'd like, or keep them outstretched in front of you. Yogi's choice. Noticing once again your breath. If the mind has wandered, bring it back to your practice. Bring it back to your mat. Only need to focus on what's going on in this moment. Everything else doesn't matter right now. This practice is for you. And the more you can focus on it now, the more it will serve you when we're all done. So walk the hands back up towards the knees. And we're going to take a variation of camel pose, something a little bit more grounding, a little bit less intense. So sit on the heels. So if sitting on the heels is difficult for you, if you have any knee problems or ankle problems, you could choose to sit on a block, which will lower the intensity of that pose. We're going to make fists and bring them behind our feet. Okay? Press into the floor, straighten out the arms, and just slide the shoulder blades behind your heart, almost like your shoulder blades are a shelf for your heart, lifting the heart up. And keep the feet grounded, keep the knees grounded. So if the knees start to peel up, then maybe you've bent back a little bit too much. Okay? And if bending back at all is too much, you could also choose to put the block behind you so that the floor isn't so far away. If you don't have a block, you can just simply sit. Just simply sit and lift the heart. And for those who want to go a little bit deeper in this pose, you can walk the hands back further away from your feet. You can choose to keep the chin tucked in, or you can lift through the heart and release the head back. Opening up the throat chakra. Good. And then slowly walk the hands back, lift the head, and let's just stay here for a moment. Open the palms and lay them on top of the thighs. Feel connection to the lower body here through the hands. Beautiful. We're going to come into a few seated stretches. So you're going to lift the right knee on top of the left. So I'm just hooking it on top of my left. Okay? And swing the feet out and have a seat. Now, if you know that you need a block here, you can sit on the block.
which will lift the hips up off the floor, be a little bit less intense. Okay, so that's always a nice option if you need it. So we're aiming to stack the knees, stacking the right knee on top of the left. I'm not mirroring you anymore, so just keep that in mind. We have the right knee on top of the left. And see if you can get both sit bones grounding into the mat. So here, likely your right sit bone's lifting off a little bit. So see if you can get it grounded. And now flex the feet so the outer edges of the feet are pressing into the mat and the feet are active so the ankles are not sickling. Okay, so we have lots of alignment stuff here. Okay, and I like to hold on to my feet. I like to close the pose, contain my energy by holding on to the feet and finding a nice tall spine. And this could be quite intense in the hip region for some people. So if it's something you feel that you can breathe through and release, and just keep working with it nice and slowly. If it's just too intense, if it's causing pain or you're having trouble taking a deep breath, then just release the hips a little bit. The knees don't have to be entirely stacked. Everybody's body's so different. So just listen to yours and be truthful and honor whatever is going on for you today. So an invitation to add the arms for this pose, okay? We'll open up the shoulders. If you have a strap, this might be where you want to use it. And if you don't, perfectly fine, you don't need to use it. You're gonna hold the strap in the left arm, reach the left arm up and slide the strap behind you. So it's just hanging behind you. And then you're gonna take the right arm, you're gonna internally rotate the shoulder, reach behind you and hold on to the strap. Now, if you don't have the strap, you can hold on to your shirt, or if you have a long ponytail, you can hold on to your hair. Some of you won't need a prop. You can just reach back and hook the fingers. But if you need to sacrifice the alignment of your spine and neck in order to reach your fingers, I'd say forget the fingers. You want a nice long spine, so the natural curves of the cervical spine can occur. You can have a nice kind of C curve at the back of your neck, okay? So press the head back into the arms and see if you can find those beautiful curves. And if you simply can, because you're pressing yourself forward, then forget the fingers, release, hold on to the shirt or the strap. Closing the eyes and taking a few nice deep breaths from this deep release. We're going to slowly release the arms here. Keep the configuration of the legs, but just bring the sole of the right foot down. So we're coming into a twist here. If you need to realign the hips, feel free to do so. Okay, the right hand's going to come back. Remember, I'm not mirroring you, so listen to my words. Inhale, the left arm up and twisting. So you can either hug in the knee, draw it in towards the chest, or you can hook that elbow right across. But again, can you find those natural curves of the spine? You know, are you too focused on getting to the next stage of the pose and losing the beautiful alignment of your body, the natural alignment of your body? Okay, also if you're having trouble taking a really deep soothing breath, then you're probably twisting too much. And we want this to be a grounding, soothing practice. So always better in this case to do a little bit less and focus on the breath and what feels good. Right? Inhale and exhale. And slowly unravel here. And straighten out that top leg. Reach out the right leg. You're going to bring the sole of the left foot in nice and close towards the inner thigh, as high as you comfortably can. But both hips are still facing forward, square on. This is also a really nice one to use your strap if you have one. So you can wrap it around the ball of the foot, so not the arch, but the ball, and press the ball into the strap here. Excuse me. Inhale here, find your heart. As you bend the elbows, you can slowly start to fold at the hip crease over the leg and release. And I like to make this for the first few breaths a little bit of a floating meditation. So as I inhale, I come out of the pose, give my body space. And then as I exhale, I fall into the pose just a little bit more, hopefully with a little bit more ease. As I deepen my breath and I connect very intentionally my breath with my body, whatever's going on for me in this pose. But play with it, dance with it. It doesn't have to be static. It doesn't have to look the way that it looks on anybody else. I think if you really tune in, you know what your body wants, you know what it doesn't want. But you've got to slow it all down in order to listen. And just to tap into those deeper layers that are often quieted because there's so much else going on outside of us. We can't hear it. We don't have the opportunity to listen until we shut it all off. And we tune in, and there's so much to discover about ourselves when we allow ourselves to go there and to have that experience. Alright, and now you're going to slowly release your strap if you're using it. Everybody coming out of the pose. And let's just bend the knees, flatten out the feet. Give ourselves a couple of pelvic tilts back and forth. Inhale, bring the heart forward. Yeah. Roll out the low back. And the upper back. Ooh, is one of my favorite things to do, as most of you know. Alright, good stuff, guys. Come back into our downward facing dog and we'll do the other side. Come on to the knees as you exhale. And we're going to hook the left knee on top of the right. Flare the legs out and have a seat. Again, using the block if you'd like to. Find the sit bones. Flex the feet, and sometimes it's helpful to look at the feet and to see and make sure the wrinkles on the insides of the ankles are minimized. That's when we know that we're lengthening out the inner ankles, that we're not crunching there. And of course, one side is often very different than the other, so each time we repeat a pose on the second side, tune in because it might be a very different experience on the second side. So just option to stay here with your breath, stay here with the hips, or if you'd like to add in the arms, you bring the right arm overhead, and if you're using the strap, grab hold of the strap here, let it fall behind you. The left arm will reach out to the side, very important step to internally rotate that shoulder, and then reach back for the fingers or the strap or the pony, whatever you can grab hold of. The head lies back just like you're in a lounge chair. Beautiful warm weather. Maybe during sunset on the beach. Wouldn't that be nice? We can go there in our minds. listening to your breath. And slowly releasing the hands. Ooh, bit of a rush. Plant the left foot down. Okay, we're going to reach the left arm back behind us, fingers pointing away. Wrapping the right arm, hugging the knee in towards the the left knee in towards the right shoulder, or hooking all the way around, as long as you can keep that length, that space for big belly breaths. Beautiful. And slowly unwind. We're going to lengthen the left leg out in front of us, bending the right knee, both hips facing forward. Again, using the strap. If you don't have the strap, no problem. You can just hold on to the leg or the foot if you can reach it. Wrapping around the ball of the foot. Inhale, lift the heart. And let's do that little meditative dance as we ascend and descend with the breath. See what kind of magic your breath can do and easing your way into this pose. Beautiful, and slowly releasing. Let's bend the knees, plant the feet. Let's take a couple more of those spinal undulations. Inhale and exhale, round out, drop the chin. Inhale, lift the heart up. And exhale, settle back into your body hammock. Inhale, lift. And then as you exhale, round out and then slowly come all the way down to the mat and draw the knees and hugging in nice and close. We're just going to take a nice gentle inversion. You can use your strap again, or if not, just straight legs. If you do have a strap, then wrap it around the ball of the feet. Both legs extending nice and tall. And I like to, if your strap is long enough, I like to ensure that the backs of my arms are planting down so that I can relax and feel supported by the floor. The backs of my hips are grounding down, reaching into the earth like roots through the backs of my hips, which is nourishing and sending energy all the way up my legs and through my feet. The opposite direction as well. So from those roots, from that energy in my hips, I'm drawing up nourishment and energy from the hips through my spinal column, my back, all the way up through my neck to the crown of my head. So see the hips here as your source, and keep drawing up from the source. And then replenishing as you exhale.
The eyes be closed, the face be soft. The ribs settle back into the body and the back ribs into the mat. The legs might start to feel a little tingly as the blood flows down towards the hips. Couple of more nice deep breaths. And then at the end of your exhale, you can remove the strap if you're using it. And if you're not, we'll come into a happy baby here. So bend the knees, grab hold to the outer edges of the feet, the pinky edge of the feet, and then draw the shoulder blades down into the mat with straight arms. Knees are plugging down, backs of the hip, backs of the pelvis are flat on the ground, or as much as they possibly can. But find release here in this pose. Also remembering it's called happy baby, so maybe finding a little bit of that baby joy, that innocence that comes with not knowing. Allowing yourself to go there for a moment, feeling silly, feeling curious, feeling present. Right? Babies don't think about the past or the future, they really are just in the moment. How wonderful. Let's see if you can rock the baby a little bit. Feeling that playful energy. And then let's bring the soles of the feet together. Interlace the fingers on the outside of the feet. Press the knees away. And then we'll slowly release the feet all the way down to the mat. The palms come to our heart in prayer. The knees release. And then reach the palms down and help the legs together. And we're going to stretch the legs and the arms out for Shavasana. So because this isn't designed to be a particularly grounding class, I invite you, which is very non-typical of me, to bring the palms face down. Palms face down for grounding sensation. Let the feet just relax however they please. Let's all take a nice deep breath in together. Inhaling, fill up the belly and the lungs. Slow exhale through the mouth. You're welcome to do that as many times as you like in order to feel truly settled and ready for your Shavasana. And if you are ready, just allow yourself to stay here. You can imagine that if I was in the space with you, my regular students will know what to do. Imagine I'm pressing your shoulders down into the ground, feeling that deep release. You can create that for yourself. So if you have plenty of time at home, you can certainly stay here for as long as you please, or as long as others allow you. But see if you can stay here for at least another minute or two. Feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. But for those who are ready to complete the practice, take a big breath in as you reach your arms up overhead. Full body stretch. Good, and then bend the knees, hug them in close. Roll over to your right side, resting your head in your hands. And then slowly press yourself up to sit. We'll close with 3 breaths together, and we'll take vocal exhales. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms back up. Big exhale, open the wings. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. May you be happy and healthy and at peace. And may all beings everywhere be happy and healthy and at peace. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Hope to see you again here soon and in person maybe a little while